welcome who is hopefully getting their notification that's live platforms right now. They each take their own little amount of time, of course. But thank you, everyone, starting to do another highlight stream. Today we have on some members of our Archaeogaming team. So I will explain what that means. Do some background first. Okay, what SASA? SASA stands for Savings. We work to promote the study of the ancient world and engage with our human deep, building a grassroots movement through outreach, collaboration, accessibility, public scholarship. We work towards a wide, inclusive community of scholars, learners, and students. So we do this in many ways through many teams of SASA. Highlight stream, learn a little bit more about the many projects we have going on. Where you can find SASA, please, and follow us on our various social media platforms. Makes a bigger difference just hitting follow and like on our posts. The most on Facebook, Instagram, I guess now called X. We also have a TikTok page, and all of our saved and recorded on our Twitch YouTube channel. Event, please listen and ask thoughtful questions. We are here for you guys. Please do send your questions in the chat if you have anything to add. On our social media platforms, and they're saved there. While you're here, last but not least, from SASA, including Archaeogaming, book clubs, reading group, database, and more. Please consider giving us a donation. Almost fully run by volunteers, nonprofit organization. You can become a recurring donor for as little as. And last but not least, thank you for joining us. So, I'm Lauren. I will be playing the host today of our Archaeogaming education team here, and I'm just gonna get the ball rolling right away and have them explain what the team does, a little bit about themselves, why they volunteered with SASA. Emma, if you first.
I'll go first, and why don't we introduce ourselves first, I'll say. So I'm Emma. Hello. I have a bachelor and master's studies. I specialize mostly in ancient Greek linguistics and humanities, and I've always been very passionate about the classical world. And I guess I started volunteering with SASA a couple years ago now. I was really passionate about accessibility and opening up the field of classical studies, which is so needed. And I really wanted to find a way to sort of fill in the gap between the in the public interest in mythology and stories and history and classical work, and the offering that was there in the field, and see how we could make that better. And I felt that SASA was doing that a lot, opening up the field a lot. So I feel satisfied with that. Epa, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, why not? Thank you, Emma. My name is Epameinondas. I come from Greece, and I took my bachelor's there in history and ethnology, where I started developing my interest in ancient Greek history. And right now I am doing a master's in classical civilizations, focusing again in ancient Greece and the Hellenistic world more specifically. What drew me to SASA? At the time I started working with SASA about a year now. At the time I was wondering in what ways you can promote the love we have for the past and for ancient studies in general to a broader group of people, because the simple confines of academia sometimes are too strict to include more and more people, and you have to start working on that, I believe, from a very early age. I think that I found SASA in a good outlet for this exact purpose.
Okay. Much also, guys, sorry, I'm like turning my camera on, and I told them I need to be the biggest person on. I'll pop back in when I ask questions and stuff. My next question, of course, is tell us more about the gaming education team. What is gaming education? Who are it started out being a little bit involved in that team when it very first started, and then it has just grown exponentially since then. So that's really great. Has also gotten probably most grants that SASA have anything. So it's very exciting, and some grants to try to implement this in states across the U.S. Anything about the U.S. that's harder. Every state has different and things like that. Although accessible to everyone, of course, but we really about this more. I know that one of the goals have implemented in classrooms in a more formal way of like this is of the education system, etc. Our Archaeogaming education modules.
Wonderful question. Sorry. Oh, I'd like to take that. Yes. I'll introduce and 3D step in anytime you want to add. So, Archaeogaming education modules are comprised mostly of a video that is meant to illustrate, introduce a specific topic broadly in the category of the ancient and classical world. We've got videos on Greek pottery. We've got videos on building the Roman Empire and maintaining its structure, on urbanization in Mesopotamia and Egypt. We have lovely medieval Ireland and a video on also medieval medicine. And we'll be working on 2 more lovely modules. One on ancient Egyptian religion and one on feudal warrior Japan. They're still in the process of being narrowed down and defined. But basically what we do is we do a ton of research on the topic that we've chosen, mainly guided by a scholar or academic who works with us and is from the specific field of studies that we refer to. And then we condense and boil it down into a narrative that is usually as engaging and dynamic as we can possibly make it, in interesting little details and things that you would maybe not find at first on Wikipedia or the first time you Google the topic. And we illustrate this narrative and the entire topic with footage taken from video games that are set in the relevant time period. And also, whenever we can, we input images that we source from primary sources like miniature. And then we have all sorts of background information around it. We offer starting points for more research, reading lists, and all sorts of activities that the students can do to sort of go more in depth about the topic and study it through different angles and different lenses. This, I'd say, is the main product of Archaeogaming modules. What would you say, Eppa? Anything?
Yeah, pretty much you covered it. What we try to do is to have a great variety of activities that to promote various learning outcomes, not just strictly just learn the facts of what happened a long time ago in a place far, far away. So we incorporate activities that try to make the students understand and immerse themselves to the cultures that we try to teach them about, like building models of buildings that are important to a specific culture, or linguistic exercises that will bring them closer to the languages used by these people.
So actually,
Absolutely.
can you talk a little bit about this exercise? Because that was a really, like, when I'm on it, obviously that's part of the educators. At first, it was just this idea, oh, let's make these videos using games because kids love video games. These videos using video games and history. But we were like, okay, but what if the teachers don't know background information? So we need to provide that for them, and we need as easy as possible for them to implement this. And in as you mentioned, like in a way of like what goals are for teaching. So like we have to have projects that the kids can do, kinds of things, hands-on stuff, or homework that they have to take. Really expanded into something far past like, oh, just watch this video, include games. It's well encompassing of what a do to implement topic in their class.
Well, yeah, we try to have an all-encompass package which works both for the teacher and for the student. And it can be taught, it's quite comprehensible, and it can be taught in a few classroom hours, like 2 or 3 hours to complete fully the lecture and do all the activities. We don't go with anything really that big yet.
Not always.
And yeah, there's both the challenge to also educate the teacher as well, because they are not always as knowledgeable as they would like, or the children would like them to be on a specific culture. It would be impossible for that. So we have dedicated teachers package where we have a pretty extensive historical narrative regarding the events or the cultures that we wanted to narrate about, which also includes several references and several more advanced material, like academic papers on the specific topics, links to websites that have primary material, like myths in the original language, and translation, of course, so that the teacher has extra material that we don't necessarily give to the full package for the students, and they can choose for this pool as well.
Yeah, I would add
as for the activities. Go, Emma.
No, I was going to say that
Please, Emma.
Every AAM is highly customizable by the teacher that chooses to download it and use it. So of course, we include in the teacher's pack a brief description of all of the activities and how long they're supposed to take. And then any teacher can sort of pick and choose what would work best for their students, what specifically they want to introduce, how long they want to spend on any part of the topic, and the ones that Eppa was mentioning, they'd like to give their son what particularly interests them, what keeps them focused, or what else they've done during the curriculum. And from the feedback that we received from some teachers that have used the modules, we initially intended them as introductory modules. So something that would, serve the teacher well to start off on a new topic. And we've heard that they have been used in this way, but that they have also been used as and worked well as part of a larger explanation or as sort of a summary at the end of a teaching module on a topic that would sort of bring back all of the details that a teacher had gone over and would, serve them well to still keep the students' attention over the last bits of going over this particular topic. And we've also heard that the amount of information works well for teachers who maybe haven't studied a particular topic, but find it in their curriculum and have to also introduce themselves to it because they find all sorts of resources. And it also works well for teachers who are very familiar with the material and have taught it before, because maybe they find tidbits of things that they maybe didn't know or find interesting when posed in that way, but they also can skip over all of the information that they're already familiar with, and they can easily go to the parts of the module that they need.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's things about them, obviously. Again, a big question mark. Their first place in this project is, okay, some teach it one day to teach all of ancient history. And some teachers get 3 months to learn just about ancient. So, like, how do you make it work for this extreme variance of what teachers access to? Okay, so, like, I have some more little, like, general questions I can ask, but I want to touch on what you guys want to talk about with your project. But so this is the official question. Just chat about whatever you like. Is in terms of that basically everyone with SASA is a volunteer, and we are going through an application process right now, actually. So spring internship applications are due in about a month. We are being, especially for more long-term like volunteers, we do 3 rounds, like more internship focus application, along with kind of school year periods, spring and summer. Applications for this spring semester are due at the end. So if someone is hearing this that is more in the boat of in making these and learning to make these kinds of teacher packet like things, lessons, or doing things involving video games and history, coming on your
Well, a lot of fun hours.
Come work with us. Go on, Epa.
I mean, yeah, we need. We do want quite an extensive area, extensive field of talents. We need people who know more about the realities of a teacher's life and school life. So how we can actually create that educational module that speaks to everyone. And of course, we need specialists in the history of every culture that we wanted to encompass. If we don't know something about Japan or Ireland or the Vikings beforehand, it's very hard to try to do this on the go.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we also ask for a specific specialist who works on this academic field for quite some time and has credentials to guide us. But we also need as a team, I would say, is people who have some experience on gaming and recording as well, and creating videos. Editing.
Come help Epa do his job.
Is that your job?
Sorry?
Yeah, no, because that was a huge thing. Like, very large and growing gaming industry, whole background side of video editing and all that. So that, yeah, that's a big hurdle. Very helpful when people come on teams that already have some background in that. Even the video game part, a lot of recording video games. So we need people to be in the game and recording part that they're doing that is parts that we know we. The one that I can always think of is the first one that we made was about Greek pottery, and we Assassin's Creed Origins. I'm pretty sure because in the I'm gonna say this wrong, but in part of the game, the whole thing it's like a market. We go through every step of how they make. So that's like to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
But gameplay footage and then recording and weeding out gameplay footage what they're actually going to use to try
the person who is to record these videos also has to know a lot about history to know what scenes and what images we actually need to use in our modules. They can't just run around and record everything in a walkthrough of Assassin's Creed Origins, for example, or Odyssey. That would be just too much noise that doesn't really offer anything.
Yeah.
That's true. But we also work quite well as a team to determine what needs to be recorded and what we can work with. So I'd say that's a thing that we also all do together. And members of our team come from very different academic backgrounds.
We lost Emma.
A little bit. I'm sure it will catch up in a second.
She will come back. But yes, we were saying that we have various academic backgrounds right now. Right now, I am a historian. We have also an Egyptologist that works in our team. Emma is a classicist, but she works as a teacher. We also have in curator sciences and anthropology as well. But also outside of academia, we have one volunteer who is working on writing and script editing as well, if I'm not mistaken, Emma.
Yes, true. Am I back? Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
You're back, yes.
Yes, we're back.
That's great.
And also, I'm sure all over the world too. SASA volunteers are all over the place. Teams. It will be like I'm in Wisconsin, London. Someone else is in Korea. So that's actually
yes.
If you want to volunteer.
I think at some point in our team we had in America, in Europe, and in China as well. At the same time.
Yeah, we did.
We
That
had to
was
work around all
lovely.
this.
Coordinate the timelines of that team meeting was great.
Oh, yeah, meeting times is a thing, is that. Okay, so can't go longer, but usually. So with our last year, anything else that you want to make sure to bring? Lovely team and projects. I will show the QR code again for anyone that wants. This leads to the Archaeogaming site or AEMs. Or on our CN2 and postings. So you can find out more information of the individual one we're talking about them right now, and we have grants to keep them excited about that. You can go and list and see what you can implement into your class. There's a place to sign up there, fill out a form to send, ask you to review them for us, use them so that we can keep making them better and better for what teachers need.
Mhm. Yeah. So last things about our team and our work, I'd stress that accessibility was what really drew me to SASA, and I think we're really meeting that goal a lot, producing and putting out a ton of free content that is also very professionally made. We cooperate with scholars and academics in the field, but we also consistently work with educational specialists. We do a lot of research to ensure that we're meeting state standards of education, both in regards with content and topics, and also in regards with teaching methods and skills that we develop, like accessing primary sources or developing critical thinking and problem solving. And we're putting out all of this material as accessibly as possible. We're working on translating it into different languages and meeting needs. Also, students and teachers who have maybe less material and work in less funded schools or places. So I feel like we're putting out great content that really does work for opening up access to the ancient world and connecting people to what we love and what we want to share. So I feel like our work with SASA is it's really great and a wonderful opportunity. And everybody who wants to come work with us is very welcome. I'd say about that. Epa, anything you want to add?
Yeah, pretty much these are it. But an extra goal is also to more than just install a love for the ancient world, also to a love for the sciences that explore the ancient world. And we hope that many students will learn about the actual day-to-day life of archaeologists, historians, classicists, linguistic experts in various languages around the world, and this will hopefully lead them to for a career there at the time where this, I would say, is in peril.
Yeah, that's a perfect thing. Another thing that stem from is how can we use in younger and younger classrooms to make interested in A's and as per saving study keeping these and stuff. Because if people are studying archaeology and stuff, the field,
Oh yeah,
no question about it.
And video games
and that's
are.
a huge thing,
Sorry.
No. What were you?
I would say that the video games are a great way to make students, younger people, see that, yeah, they have some practical applications in a modern days world as well. They are not just sitting there collecting dust in ancient tomes in libraries, but they can actually come to life in some way. This is also this,
and
of
there's
course,
a lot of
has
people
challenges.
that work with that. Or sorry, I was just going to say there's a lot of interesting people at SASA that are trying to do those kind of every professor when they get in studies.
No,
including the more we do stuff. So like we use some in some of our learning modules, our streams that we do live. And Total War loves us. They think it's amazing that we're using it. They actually teach about ancient history. They're always sharing our stuff on their social media pages and things. And that makes it then those gaming companies will put more jobs that are for historians on their games if they see that that's so it's different avenues that could be opportunities for people interested in studies to still get very well paid high tech kind of jobs that have to do with it. On that note, when you interview people, you always hear like, oh, how did you studies? And they're always like, I watched Indiana Jones and whatever. But now it's, oh, I loved playing Hades when I was young. I loved doing this. So it really does make a difference in these things to people. So, okay, that's my soapbox.
Hopefully, one thing I would like to say about the gaming companies is that hopefully we'll also start developing games that are not sent into the classical past, that of ancient Greece and Rome, which are the most famous, of course, globally, I would say. But they will also touch other civilizations and other places around the world that are not that much known, at least in the Western world. That is.
Yeah.
Yes,
Totally
this
agree.
absolutely.
Okay, one last shout out I'll do.
We're always so limited when we games.
Precisely.
Uh-huh.
This time, the biggest problem that we have is that there are not that many games that we can actually use. There are games that might be 20 years old by now that touch more niche, well, not niche, field of history, let's say, more out of the way, not well known period or area. We cannot really use those games in 2023. They look awful most of the time. The students do not know them, so they have no reason to engage with these games. The games that we use in AEMs have to be quite modern as well, and quite well known to make the students more interested in them.
Yeah. Otherwise, they'll just laugh.
Yes.
Yeah, no, right. It's like nostalgia to look at old Pac-Man games, but kids now are like, this just looks like crap.
So, yeah. I mean, we say about Total War, and thankfully they make also until now great games. But several of the games that we use come from the early 2000s, so they do not look as good as the newest games, and this is an issue.
Right. No. Right. Exactly. Well, on that note, some of our gaming companies that are making things in like Mesoamerica, Old Norse game and stuff. So we do have hope for it.
Oh yeah. Another hope in that is that most of these games are usually focusing on strategy and action, and they focus on the political and military history, which is not always our goal in AMs.
Right.
We also want to promote the study of religion or medicine, as we said, or more other things like more cultural, artistic expressions of different cultures.
Right, and everyday life kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just the...
Or you know, the cooperation between different people in the past, that if you saw them in a war-based game, that's where the goal is to enslave the rest of the map, then you don't show that you have to work together with the rest of the communities that exist next to you.
Yeah. Oh, yay. I wish we had the Archaeogaming team, too, who made gaming education one of the first ones. We wrote them into going live. I have so much to say about this, too. So slight plug for that. They play more so through games for 3 hours of them. So what a team in their classroom. Okay, well, on that note, any last words or otherwise, thank you very much for joining. Love talking about projects that SASA has going. Please do send a QR code if you're interested in filling out the form to down our free Archaeogaming education modules. Well,
yeah, I think we said everything.
Well, and the stream.
One final note, though, if we didn't mention it, if anyone is also interested in joining a specific part of SASA and more than anything else, they can also contact people in this team directly, I would say, since we do use this information in SASA's website. So don't hesitate, people. If you have any questions about how you can help SASA, just contact any one of us.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to know what we do, what you could do with us, do reach out to us. I promise we're friendly. We'll answer, tell you everything we can.
Yeah, and a lot of people was like 5 hours a week. They have one thing that they're responsible
Oh,
for getting done, but it's still an immense help to stuff. So if you feel like time to do too, that's totally fine. There is always small. Yeah. Well, I'm sure we will have, and definitely go check out the Archaeogaming education modules we have.